Listen, let me yarn y'all a little story, okay? So this is the story of Confucius, the Buddha, and Lao Tzu walk into a bar, right? And the waiter gives them the juice of life. Confucius, he takes one look at the bottle and he says, I've already achieved enlightenment. I've worked hard to get here. I see no reason to indulge back in these mortal tendencies. Fair point. The Buddha, he gives it a little uncork, he gives it a sniff, he gives it a little sip, a little taste. He says, you're right, Confucius. You're dead on. Life is sour, it's bitter, it's full of pain. Why would we ever put ourselves through that? I see no reason. And corks the bottle back up again. And Lao Tzu, he kind of looks at him. He pops that bottle open, and he chugs the whole damn thing. And he starts spinning around like a whirlwind, screaming, yapping, yibbering, and yelling, you know. Turned into a human Beyblade. And he sits down, all calm like. And the fellas are just kind of like, what the fuck, man? What's up with that? To which he says, life must be drunk and full. With this great pain, with this torment that we often endure, comes also great pleasure. The top of the mountain is nothing without the climb. And he just sat there in peace. Sometimes you need to get drunk on life. You know, you need to experience it in full. And there are many trials and tribulations and roadblocks and red tape, obstacles that you will run into and storms that you will have to weather. But you can achieve great satisfaction. You just have to take it all in. You have to sit with your thoughts, the good and the shit, and just give them a cup of tea. A little lesson for y'all. You know what? Let me tell you why I've been recollecting that story. So essentially, I have many of you know that I'm agnostic, but to say that I'm not a man of faith, that'd be simply slanderous, that'd be incorrect. My faith is based on philosophies, some religions, lyrics, songs, mantras, you know, just in a little bit of experience, a little seasoning thrown in there, a little egg theory while I'm at it. But two of the fundamental pillars of my belief, of my faith, are Stoicism and existentialism. And recently, I didn't know it was possible, but I had a crisis of faith. I was dealing with something where, by the rules of Stoicism, I had exerted control over everything that I was responsible for. I had extended the olive branch. I had tried to maintain peace, tried to enhance it even. I had fulfilled my responsibilities, and I could have walked away. But then existentialism, fucking Kierkegaard over here in his silly little mind games, he said, you need to take a leap of faith. Rather, he said you need to take a leap into faith. Thank you, Chidi and Agonye. But he said I needed to take a leap of faith. And these two were just battling back and forth for, I don't know, 5 days, maybe a week. And honest to God, I was angry. This anger shifted into frustration and sadness and guilt. Had me looking back at the past real different, just through a bunch of lenses that I hadn't previously recognized or at least utilized. And for a while, I was at a standstill. I didn't know what I'd do. But then Lao Tzu just drunkenly wandered into the conversation, wandered right back on out. And I just sort of saw from a new perspective just the situation that I was in. And I take a lot of pride in the role that I've played in that. All things considered, sometimes you're dealt a shitty hand, but you can still play it to the best of your ability. And I was proud of how I played my heart, my cards, my heart, I don't know. But like I said, I didn't know it was possible for me to have a crisis of faith. And none of these foundational pillars of my belief, in a way, my identity, none of them had, for one, been compromised before, but for another, they hadn't ever been set against each other. And this was new, and that was frustrating me. And dealing with that frustration was its own path. But in wandered Lao Tzu. Now, I can't call myself a true Taoist because I got vices. Let it be known. And it's not that I so much operated on Taoist principle, but it gave me the push that I needed to take that leap. And I'm glad I did. And I was frustrated also with the result of that. Not to say that I didn't see it in the cards. I saw this outcome and was in a way prepared for it, which also is saddening in its own right. But I learned something. I feel better having taken the leap regardless of the outcome. I extended empathy, even when it hurt. And I pulled myself together. And I can be proud of all of that. Have a good night.